Buenos dias, everyone. Are y'all ready for chapter 5? It's called The King's Mask. Okay, here we go. The night stretched as Neaira and Enrique returned to the mansion, the tension from earlier clinging to them like a second skin. Neaira's heels clicked against the marble floors as they entered the grand foyer. The house was quiet, but the silence wasn't comforting. It felt heavy, almost expectant, like the calm before a storm. Niara set her bag on the table by the door, the weight of the black notebook making her fingers linger for a moment. She glanced at Enrique, who had already shrugged off his coat and was loosening his tie. He looked as he always did, confident, composed, every bit the king of East Point Heights. But she knew better. You're quiet, she said, breaking the silence as she walked toward him. Enrique glanced at her, his dark eyes unreadable. I'm thinking. That's never a good sign, she teased lightly, trying to ease the tension, but when he didn't smile, her own expression grew serious. Talk to me, Enrique. He ran a hand through his hair, his muscles flexing beneath his shirt. The notebook isn't just a list of enemies, he said finally. It's a record of every move I've made to get us here, every risk, every deal, every mistake. Neaira frowned, and some of those mistakes might be catching up to us, he admitted. Her jaw tightened. Her jaw tightened. You mean someone in that notebook is behind the warning? Enrique nodded. I don't know who yet, but whoever it is, they know how to play the game. They're trying to scare us, make us second guess ourselves. Niara crossed her arms, her fiery eyes locking into his. Then we don't scare. We don't flinch. If they want to fight, we'll give them one. A small smile tugged at the corner of Enrique's mouth. That's why I marry you. She stepped closer, her voice low but firm. Don't forget it. Enrique's hand found her waist, pulling her against him. For a moment, the weight of their world faded, replaced by the intensity of their connection. His lips brushed hers, a promise in the kiss that followed, one of loyalty, passion, and an unspoken vow to face whatever came next together. When they finally pulled apart, Niara's expression was fierce. What's the plan? We start with the notebook, Enrique said, his tone steady. We go through it, name by name, until we find out who's behind this. And when we do, they'll wish they stayed in the shadows, Niara finished for him, her voice sharp as steel. Enrique nodded, his gaze never leaving hers. Exactly. The two of them moved to the study. The two of them moved to the study, where the fire crackled in the hearth, casting flickering shadows on the walls. Niara set the notebook on the desk, its leather cover gleaming in the firelight. As they opened it together, the names and secrets within them to pulse seemed to pulse. Let me read that over. As they opened it together, the names and secrets within seemed to pulse with the weight of the power they held. It wasn't just a list, it was a map, as Enrique had said, a roadmap of their rise and possibly the key to their survival. As the hours ticked by, their determination only grew. They weren't just fighting for their empire, they were fighting for each other. And no matter what the shadows of East Point Heights had in store, Neaira and Enrique were ready to face it head on, because together they were unstoppable. And that's the end of chapter 5. Stay tuned, y'all. We got a few more chapters to go. Thank y'all for listening. Have a good day.